This is the brave new world of 1984, not a research unit, nor an operating theatre, though it is 100 times cleaner of dust. This is the universal revolution of the 20th century, a factory which makes silicon chips. Chips which have created the age of the computer, a new frontier for America and for the world. The computer is power, the power of information and knowledge. With production almost automated, the Apple Corporation can produce 2,000 Macintosh computers every day, one every 40 seconds. For those companies at what they call the leading edge of the market, the computer is not only power, but riches. Silicon Valley, which was an orange grove 20 years ago, has become the computer capital of the world.
There are over 1,000 high-tech companies, each of them filled with high-tech talent. They work all hours under great pressure and in extreme secrecy. Their purpose is very simple, to get in front of each other and to beat off their rivals. And you can see why. Because most Americans now appear to have convinced themselves that the possession of a computer will be as basic to their lives as the car and the color television before very long. And so almost every day, yet another company joins what's become a 20th century gold rush.
Silicon Valley is in California, where it is important to seem carefree, an image which is strenuously cultivated by Apple, whose new boss is John Sculley, bought in for $1 million a year from Pepsi-Cola, where he had masterminded the creation of the Pepsi generation. Mr. Sculley is not given to understatement.
Silicon Valley, I think, today is much like Florence must have been during the Renaissance. It's the gathering place of many very bright people from many different disciplines, not just electronics. And it's a group of people who want to do something great, and they believe that there's an opportunity in companies like Apple to turn out marketable products that may very well change the world. And that takes vision, and it takes creativity. And that's really what the Renaissance was all about. It was people who came together with ideas and talents and turned their vision into great works of art. In this case, we're turning it into the art of software and the art of marketable hardware products.
You are presumably too interested in profits.
Absolutely, but I believe that the way to make profits is not to focus on profits by itself, but to focus on products that can change people's lives and which are therefore going to become mass-marketed products. And we have no problem making profits when the products are correctly defined.
The Apple headquarters is studiously unconventional, like the corporation itself, where unions and pensions are thought to belong to a bygone age, and where, therefore, your only security is success. Behind the image, Apple is as brittle and aggressive as you might expect in a cutthroat market.
Well, what do you think of the whole concept that Macintosh is made? It's kind of in the image of man, so to say. It's the computer
Is it sort of sacrilegious when you think
true.
about it.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? What we're trying to do, of course, is position ourselves away from the hard-to-use, archaic machines, from the IBMs of this world. So, I don't know. Does this fly?
The staff at Apple are convinced that the future belongs to a new age which they will inherit. And perhaps they're right, but only if they outpace and outwit their rivals in that old, ruthless and earthy game called cornering the market.
People's computer, if you will.
It's too pretentious. It's sort of like being God or something. And even if it's not sacrilegious or whatever, there's something that will bother people.
We really need to talk solutions, because that's what we're trying to provide.
So even the future, like any other product, must be packaged and sold.
The Pepsi generation is now in its 30s, in its early 40s in some cases. And there is a new youth generation out there that isn't so much interested in soft drinks anymore, but they're interested in personal computers. And so there really is quite a bit of opportunity to apply many of the same marketing approaches with this new young generation who want to use personal computers. I'm not sure everyone realizes it yet, but I believe that it's started, that the awareness is building that if you don't have a personal computer, it's like not having a telephone. What it means is that you won't be connected with the world.
Introducing Macintosh. It does all the things you'd expect a business computer to do.
They want you to buy the best, which is theirs.
You will have to learn to do this.
Hello, I'm the Wang PC. I'm head and shoulders above the rest. But I don't mean to knock the competition.
Unless, of course, it is theirs.
Competitive, but I'm also very compatible.
Or theirs.
Introducing the touchscreen personal computer, the Hewlett-Packard 150.
Or even theirs.
It's faster, with higher resolution, more storage, and greater expandability than IBM's PC. Its ultra-high performance gives you the leading edge of Radio Shack's computer technology.
Whichever it is, without it, you won't have a future. That's the message, and it works.
Quadran, we don't make computers, we make them better.
It's what we expect from AT&T, the newest and the best. Henry, it's for you. Better? Yeah.
A casting session in New York at an advertising agency just off Madison Avenue.
Who's next, please?
Hello? I'll get him. When color TV first came out, Henry said,
Wait till they perfect it. And when stereo came out, Henry said,
when they perfect it. Well, when the cordless phones came out, Henry said, wait till they perfect it. Well, AT&T just did. The Nomad, with the best sound quality and longest range they've ever put in a cordless phone.
That's what we expect from AT&T.
The newest and the best. Henry, it's for you.
She was definitely the right age, but she was terrible.
At NWAir, they assess which performance would make the best ad in a campaign which will cost more than $100 million. Serious business.
And she's got terrible skin and terrible haircut.
Plus, she couldn't do it, right?
Well, I didn't think she was that bad, actually, but...
Oh, I thought... Oh, you really did?
I didn't think she was that bad, but I thought
she read
that
it
she was out of the question anyway.
I think... How many times she read it? 3 times?
3 times.
And all 3 times she read it the same way?
That's true.
Right?
Yep. Not great.
Okay. She usually is good, and she wasn't very good at all.
They seek the image that will best sell the American dream in the version according to Madison Avenue.
JJ, just... You know what happens? People don't like her that pointy nose, and her face
She's
looks
also
full
kind
of
of pretty. She doesn't look...
Yeah.
One of your documents says, when you look at successful advertisements, a kind of basic truth emerges. And I quote, the very same things that have been moving your mind and your heart and influencing your feelings all your life are the things that make great ads.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That means basically the things that make you respond as a human being to joy, to information, anything given to you as a piece of communication, make you respond in a positive sense as a human being, are the same things that make great advertising.
You sound very sincere.
Well, believe it.
Remember that little apartment on Maple Street?
I love that apartment. Oh, those candlelight dinners.
We couldn't afford to go out.
These packaged emotions insinuate that the more you have, the happier you'll be, turning your dreams into their dollars.
Right here.
Well, I suppose I'll have to take this back then.
Don't you dare.
She married you for richer or poorer. Let her know how it's going.
A diamond and forever I give to you.
The concept of a diamond is forever has always been more of a fact that the diamond is a symbol of love. It is not just the tangible worth of it, whether it's worth a lot of money and that it is precious. Its preciousness has been converted into the preciousness of a relationship and the importance of a relationship. That's what I said, the emotional reward, not the actual tangible worth of the thing itself. The worth says that individual cares not enough about me to do this, to give me this expression of caring and love. There is no question that because of the rate of divorces, There's that second diamond, which means the same thing as the first, but you have to deal with that reality.
So divorces are good for business?
Well, I don't want to say that. Good for business.
Okay, units, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it? Got it. So you want to work here. What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think I like it. I'm good at figures and I have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday?
Yes, sir, absolutely, without hesitation.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, call Fred, load, dork, 8 up and 10.
Success means stress, a vogue of the 80s put cleverly to use.
Petey, you did a bang-up job. I'm putting you in charge of Pittsburgh. I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect. Peter, may I call you Pete?
Call me Pete.
Pete.
There's a Mr. Schnittler here to see you.
Home to wait 15 seconds.
Can you wait 15 seconds?
I'll wait 15 seconds.
Congratulations on your deal in Denver, Dave. I'm putting you down to deal with Dallas. Don, is it a deal? Do we have a deal? It's a deal. I gotta go. I got a call coming in. Hi, Doc. Just tell the Don.
In this fast-moving, high-pressure, get-it-done-yesterday world, aren't you glad there's one company that can keep up with it all?
You got a deal. Good. I'm putting you down to deal with Dick. Dick, what's the deal with the deal? Are we dealing? We're dealing. Dave, it's a deal with Don, Doc, and Dick. Doc, it's a deal with Dave, Dick, and Dave. Don, it's a doc with Dick, Dave, and Dick. Gotta go, Dave. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dick. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dan.
In Chicago, on the floor of the biggest commodities market in the world, speculators buy and sell futures, gambling on anything from gold to pork bellies. Real stress, the American dream run riot.
It can really do things to your sanity, okay? Everybody, I am originally from Wisconsin, way up north in Wisconsin. And I've changed a lot. I used to be a real nice, mellow country boy, and now I'm like very, very rowdy, okay?
Why is that?
It's just one of those things that you have to do. You have to have a lot of spirit, because a lot of these brokers, they'll call you any name under the sun.
Those are the guys down on the pit behind you?
Yeah, down in the pit, yeah.
Why are they calling you any name under the sun? What's happening?
Because sometimes things don't go their way, okay? If they buy and it happens to go lower, okay, they can't get mad at the other brokers in the pit. So they take it out on you. Okay, it may not be my fault, but I'm going to be the one who's going to catch the blame for it.
What kind of mood are they in down there in the pit then?
Ugly.
The tellers signal to the world, communicating second by second the changing price of investment in the futures market. It may not look edifying, but without it, the economy of the Western world would seize up.
You want to go ahead and sell your hogs then, too? Okay, hold on a minute.
Sheldon Proctor is a futures broker, umbilically attached by computer to the floor of the exchange.
I want to put an order in for you. I want to sell a June hog at $5,600 even. Yes, I know that. Number 123? Okay, thanks, John. Okay, we've got it in at $5,600 right now, and
he has the technical expertise and judgment to earn upwards of $80,000 a year.
Exactly. We look like we're going to finish up here.
On the floor, it is like this for 8 hours a day. The artful or the shrewd can land $1 million a week. Most of them, however, give up after a year, bankrupt or exhausted or both. Futures are elusive. After work, those who've made it in Chicago retreat to the suburbs. Like most American executives, Sheldon Proctor conforms to the unbending rules of the American way. He starts early and finishes late. There is no rest for the Proctors on the 7th day, no time to pause, always in action. In this neighborhood, the houses cost between $300,000 and $400,000. You work to buy them and work to keep them. By virtue of his age and income, Sheldon Proctor is defined in the jargon as a yuppie, a young, upwardly mobile professional, the ad man's American dream coming true. Saturday afternoon is baseball, watching their son Chad pitching for his school.
Shortstop, you got the shortstop. Tell him to look. Tell him to go back.
The competition is intense. In the season, the team practices for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Winning really matters. Chad comes in with his team in trouble.
Okay. All right. Coach, you gotta talk to him. Coach, you gotta talk to him.
Talk to him between your hands.
Like this, so he can hear
Cup
you.
your hands, he'll hear you.
Chad is out with no score.
Shake it off, Chad, no problem. Get him again next minute.
If winning matters, so does losing, and even more. Chad is retired to the benches.
No problem, Chad, shake it off.
He has to get a certificate of citizenship. That's right.
That night, the Proctors give a dinner party, and with generosity characteristic of America, invite the reporter to join them and meet their friends.
Started when she got here. I have all this information.
Maybe.
Sheldon and his wife Vicky, who's a teacher, are liberals, and so are their friends. As yuppies, they belong to the successful centre, tolerant, concerned, and on the way up.
This afternoon when we were at the baseball game.
Oh, yeah.
Chad was under pressure.
I felt that stress.
You did? You really did?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What do you think he felt?
Well, I think he felt that, you know, he was trying to do the best he could for himself and for his team. And so he had a great deal of stress on himself.
I know what stress means. Stress means when I've got a pile of payables there on my desk, and I don't have anything to pay them with. And I know that they're going to be calling me and saying, where's our check? That's stress.
Is that what the American dream is about?
No, I don't think so. I think the American dream probably is for perhaps less stress.
If this group of lawyers, bankers, teachers, and entrepreneurs have secured Madison Avenue's version of the dream, none of them seems to believe in it.
I would say that the American dream is a good job, the economic benefits that you can get through that, the happiness, hopefully having a marriage that will withstand all the pressures over all the years. And that's something which I think most people in this country find very difficult to achieve. There are very few people who are lucky enough to have that. That's the American dream for me, not becoming rich, not becoming...
Is that because you are quite relatively rich?
No, I'm not. I grew up in a family that didn't
Yeah,
have
but
much.
you are now relative.
No, but I think, right? I don't, relatively rich. Yeah, I bought a BMW, that's right.
That's gotta mean something.
And mine's a little bigger than yours. So.
I really just want to cover my ass for the rest of my life. That's my goal.
But that is a very big goal.
Now that
No. It depends what you mean by that.
The American dream. Cover your ass for the rest of your life.
It depends what your goal is. My goal is to BMW, fine. Rolls Royce, no.
As we go up the ladder, where we're dealing with better educated people, we're dealing with people with more money, we're dealing with people with higher aspirations, and in many cases, the mobility and the dollars to get them places that maybe other people can't. Then you're dealing with aspirations that go to the next step. What's important to them, they may work very hard, they may spend many, many hours in their businesses, but when they have their free time, that time has to be quality time. They have a need to better their standard of living, even beyond what is necessarily the necessities.
Is there any end to that?
I don't think, if there is an end to that, then there's an end to personal growth.
On the assumption that personal growth is to be equated with ever more consumption, the ad men hold what they're pleased to call a strategy session to examine the prospects for wine.
They're drinking water. People in the United States are very much oriented in terms of their physical appearance. One of the things in looking at the liquor business, how that affects the liquor, if you look at wine, that's shooting up like a rocket.
What's declining? You mean the bourbons, the bourbons, the
bourbons, the scotches, the Canadian, that kind of stuff.
They perceive that as heavy.
Yes,
heavy
heavy because it's brown goods.
Wine is a marvelous starter drink because it tastes good. If you put a glass of scotch or bourbon in front of a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old, they don't like the taste.
Okay. I happen to think there's an opportunity there to have a white wine that is branded, that is positioned as a cocktail. Or use cocktail wine.
On the basis of very detailed research into the public psyche, for which the computer has proved invaluable, they contrive a new image to stimulate a future market.
Basically what the idea is, okay, we want to give it a name, okay, and Americans think French wines are terrific, so we give it a French name. L'Esprit, okay, the spirit. The cocktail wine, that's a positioning thing. And you notice something interesting, a little bit of a graphic symbol. Instead of an olive like a martini, you take a grape, okay, and put a little toothpick in it, okay, which is just a graphic symbol. Makes it too special? No, the way you've graphically portrayed it? No, this is a concept. Yeah, I understand, but it doesn't mean you're going to have bartenders having grapes there and stick it in.
But symbolic.
All over Madison Avenue, men and women who describe themselves as creative spend long hours in this fashion so that their vision of the future as an endless process of personal growth may be realized.
And then it would appear, how would it differentiate itself? I think this is an interesting thought because I think this symbolizes cocktail to me.
That, Jerry?
Well, I think it's a toothpick, put through. And we all know that you use an olive or whatever in a thing. So I think it's a very interesting idea, Don, don't you?
Well, I'm responsive to it. I mean, we all want to be successful. We all want to consider ourselves successful, and how do you do that in this day and age? Well, Madison Avenue dictates how we do that to a great extent.
And if you ask them, who are you advertising that Coca-Cola for? Who are you advertising that Rolls-Royce for? Who are you advertising that diamond for? They define the people at this table. This income, this level of education, this affluence is the definition of who Madison Avenue is going after with their ads.
But they're doing it because they know that you'll respond. Well, not you personally necessarily, but this table generically will respond.
This table candidated themselves by moving to this area, by buying these homes, by buying these cars. These people said that's who we are. And so they defined themselves.
There is a view that the Protestant ethic or the work ethic, the Puritan ethic, has died away and has been replaced by something called the me generation.
That's the downfall for many of the kids that I teach. It's because they look at their parents, and they have to look, they're going to have to look at them in different ways because they're so affluent. And if they look at up and up the ladder in terms of affluence and material goods, then these kids are headed for a real downfall.
America was born with a dream. A dream that says, in this great land, each and every one of us has the opportunity to build for himself and his family a life that's rich and rewarding.
On occasion, it may seem that Madison Avenue has hijacked the original dream and refashioned it in the image of Mammon, the god of riches.
Planning can bring you a richer, more rewarding life today and a more comfortable life for your tomorrows. All over this land,
the dream never ends.
Total financial planning is working to make the American dream happen. It can happen for you.
And ad men won't let it die.
America, bring us your future.
Now, you're a very good salesman. Could you devise a way of selling death and making death attractive?
I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't like doing that at all, no. No, I think people are smarter than that. I don't think you can sell a bad product over any period of time. I think you can get people to try a product. once, and hopefully it's not death, because there's no second time anyway. I think religions probably have done a much better job of doing that than if you want to call advertising a religion. I think most communications that exist in our business sell something that can be experienced when you're living, not afterward. A coffin or whatever, or a funeral. I would say on the most part, don't sell those to the user.